temple. The ruins of its many beautiful temples have made it a World Heritage Site. But last year, massive flooding damaged over 100 historical monuments. In 1 square mile now, we'll meet a few of the experts who are painstakingly restoring some of the world's most important cultural remains.
Hello and welcome to 1 Square Mile. I'm Jonathan Head and today we're in Ayuddhaya in central Thailand. For 400 years this was the capital of a powerful empire which was eventually destroyed by an invading Burmese army, leaving nothing but these magnificent temple ruins. Our square mile includes this, the old city where Thailand's traditions are lovingly preserved. But we'll also be heading out a little way east to the new city where many of the world's biggest companies have come to build their factories.
Ayuddhaya lies a little way north of today's capital, Bangkok. It's strategically situated on Thailand's main river, the Chao Phraya, in the middle of a floodplain suited for the rice cultivation that provided the Old Kingdom with much of its wealth. That wealth was poured into building temples. They're everywhere in this city, dozens of them, built between the 14th and 17th centuries, earning Ayuddhaya its UNESCO World Heritage status.
Right now we are about here in the heart of the old city, and as you can see, it's a virtual island with the Chao Phraya River looping around the city here before heading off south towards Bangkok and the sea, the Praset River here and a canal cutting across the top. It made for a great defensive position, and it was also very good for trade. The first Europeans who arrived in Thailand were settled about here a little to the south. Now today, many of Ayuddhaya's inhabitants do still live in the old city, but most of the factories that drive the modern economy have been built a little off towards the east.
Life has pretty much returned to normal after flooding last year that left the entire city underwater for months. The temples have dried out. The tourists are back. And Ayuddhaya's magnificent past is accessible once again.
It's this wealth of Hindu-Buddhist ruins that makes Ayuddhaya such a draw for foreign tourists and such an important part of Thailand's heritage. Most of it was destroyed when a Burmese army sacked it more than 200 years ago, so it's very hard now to imagine what kind of a city it was and what life was like in it. And I'm now going to meet somebody who I hope can tell me. It's Tim Curtis from UNESCO. Hello, Tim.
Hello, John.
Now, you do know a little bit about this city, don't you? Tell me what it was like in its heyday, when it was a really important part of this region.
Well, as you said, it was this would have been a thriving city. You would have had people, very cosmopolitan, people from all over the world here. A trading city from Europe, from the Far East, from Japan, from China. You would have had a city bustling with canals and movement, a walled city, and then outside of the city you would have had a number of settlements, trading settlements, as people from France, people from Spain.
How big was it? I mean, how many people lived here?
Well, they say visitors in the 17th century equated it to Paris at the time. So it was a city in comparison to Paris at that time. So it was a major global city. It was a city deliberately designed to be at the center of 3 rivers because those were the trading routes. So it was built for trade, and it was also designed to be in the middle of water as a form of protection.
Tim, how did the temples, I mean, you see them everywhere, how did they fit in with the life in the old city?
Well, the temples were extremely important. They were central to everything. A lot of the wealth went into building temples, both for merit making, for rich individuals, but particularly also for the kings to mark their power, their
status symbols.
It was status, but it wasn't just status. It's also building temples for the well-being of the people, so merit making for the collective.
Do you think people in Thailand today really understand, how the city worked? Do they have a feel for its history?
Oh, I think yes. I think most Thais understand the importance of Ayuddhaya as their as a historical city. I think people look back at that as a highlight of Thai history, and it was indeed a highlight of Thai history. I think Thai people appreciate it, and I think we saw it during the floods, the reaction at the national level to the potential damage done to the site.
Ayuddhaya is a very different city these days. Modern, featureless urban sprawl has grown around the old temples, and the lives of its people have changed. Chadarat Dwangmani is typical. Her husband works in a Japanese electronics factory, she for the local tourist authority. She's just finished work, and I've come to meet her at a city centre market.
Ungate?
Yes.
Sawadee-ka.
Sawadee-ka.
Very nice to see you.
Yes, nice to see you too.
So this is the local market here?
Yes.
What's good here? They're serving here.
Yes. It's for good health.
For good health?
Yes. Because
This doesn't look so healthy.
I know.
That's more like a sweet.
This is a from pumpkin. It's for good health.
Like a soup.
Yes.
And healthy?
Yes, yes, for health.
How important is the history to this city? Because it did stop very abruptly when the Burmese destroyed the city in the 18th century.
มันเป็นต้นแบบของรัตนโก
Well,
สินทร์
this city was the origin of today's Thailand. This is where the real roots of our history lie. So I feel proud to be a part of Ayuddhaya, a World Heritage Site, which was once the capital of a great
มี
civilization.
ความเจริญรุ่งเรืองมาก่อนค่ะอยุธยาเปลี่ยนไปค่อนข้าง
It's
เยอะ
changed a lot since I was a child. Before, when we left the city, we saw only rice fields and farmers working in them. We used to see water buffaloes. All that has changed.
ง่ายๆคือเราอาจจะเห็นควาย
Now the rice fields have been sold to make industrial estates. People have moved from other parts of Thailand, and with them has come development and modern services too.
เข้ามามันก็ความสะดวกสบาย
Like convenience stores, we used to have only one in Ayuddhaya. Now there are lots of them.
เหมือนมันก็แลกกัน
Some things in Ayuddhaya haven't changed. The river still defines it, as it has since its foundation nearly 700 years ago. It's still used to get around, for making a living. And when it floods, as it did disastrously last year, it can threaten the city too.
In a city with such close links to the river, there's a long tradition of boat building, and these are models of some of the many kinds of boats used to carry people and cargo in the past around Ayuddhaya and to other parts of Thailand. They're made of teak and other tropical hardwoods that were once abundant in this country, but today those trees and the skills needed to work them have all but died out. But are being kept alive here in this unusual private museum.
These old, unwanted wooden boats have been rescued and are being expertly restored in this Ayuddhaya garden.
I've come here to meet Kun Kanok Kaumala, whose father founded this boat museum after spending a life as a master boat builder here in Ayuddhaya. Hi, Kun Kanok.
Hello.
Nice to see you.
Nice to meet you too.
And your beautiful museum.
Thank you.
This looks like quite an old boat here.
Yes, this is the old fishing boat. When I first saw this boat, I love it because this is the old technique of the old Thai boats because they used wooden nail.
You can see them down
Fixing.
here, can't you?
Yes.
Joined together the different planks.
Yes.
The skills that you and your father have to make a boat like this, how many other people in Thailand have those skills still?
I think not many people in Thailand they know about to build a wooden boat in this style because we ran out of the wood to build the wooden boats and
The forests were cut down.
and also the ship builder they don't have job so they change to do the artwork.
How important were boats in the life of Ayuddhaya in the past?
It's quite important. Like you have a cars nowadays, every house should have a car, but in the past should have the boat because like Ayuddhaya or the central region province, we will have water flood around 4 to 6 months a year. So we have to stay on the second floor, and during the flood, we have to go out with the boat that we have every house.
So you've got other boats here, Kun Kanok. Tell me about this one.
This boat in Thai we call Krang Kadan, but in English it's like a supermarket boat because they sell the spice and they sell kitchenware, glassware in this kind of boat. This boat belonged to the former member of parliament of Ayuddhaya.
Did he live in it?
Yes, at least 5 or 6 sons was born in this kind of boat and they used as a family.
A real family boat.
Yes. This boat is the scorpion tail boat. In the front it's higher,
Right.
and at the back there's the higher like the
Like a scorpion's tail. Oh, I see.
This is like a bus that people in the northern region travel to Bangkok along the river in the past.
So these are the royal barges, are they?
Yes, this is the Narai Somsuban Royal Barge.
It's an incredibly elaborate model. How long did it take to make?
For one Royal Barge model, it took more than a year.
More than a year.
Yes,
So you build these exactly to scale, do you?
yes,
So it's really like building a real ship.
yes, like the real ship. Every real part, if the real boat have, the model should also have the same piece at the same proportion. That's take a long time.
I can see over here you've got some pictures of the king designing his own boat.
Not just only design, he also construct himself, and he also won the gold medal for sailing the sail ship in the Siep game. I think he's the only king in the world.
To win a gold medal in some
Yes.
international games.
Yes.
So there's still that strong royal connection to boats. It's kept alive still through
Yes.
the king's own interests.
Yes.
It was a delightful spot to while away an afternoon, watching old boats slowly being brought back to peak condition.
Coming up in the second part of 1 Square Mile, we'll be leaving the old city for a bit and heading out to the modern industrial estates that today provide most of the city's inhabitants with their jobs and have turned Ayuddhaya into a vital cog in the world economy.
We'll be finding out how you can protect yourself, even from bullets, and what jobs are being found for Ayutthaya's largest workers.